How my optimism will help me press on to greater achievements of the future. Robert H. Schuller once said, "Optimism refuses to believe that the road ends without options." Optimism allows people to push past that dead end. To an optimist, it's not a dead end. It's just a right-hand turn. There's a story that Darren Pope put on his personal enrichment blog called The Two Travelers. This story is about how optimism allows a person to view anything in the way they want to see it. The story goes, there was once a traveler who was walking from a village in the mountains to a village in a valley. As he walked along, he saw a monk working in a field, so he stopped and said to the monk, "I'm on my way to the village in the valley. Can you tell me what it's like?" The monk looked up from his labor and said to the man, "Where have you come from?" The man replied, "I've come from the village in the mountains." "And what was that like?" "Terrible," the man replied. "No one spoke my language. I had to sleep on a dirt floor in one of their houses. They fed me some sort of weird stew that had yak or dog or both in it, and the weather was atrocious." "And I think you'll find that the village in the valley is much the same," the monk noted. A few hours later, another traveler passed by, and he said to the monk, "I'm on my way to the village in the valley. Can you tell me what it's like?" The monk looked up from his labor and asked the man where he'd come from. "I've come from the village in the mountains." "And what was that like?" the monk inquired. "It was awesome," the man replied. "No one spoke my language, so I had to sleep on a dirt floor in one of their houses. They fed me some sort of weird stew, and I have no idea what was in it, but just to experience how the locals lived was great, and the weather was freezing cold, which meant I got a really good taste of the local conditions. It was one of the best experiences of my life. Then I think you'll find that the village in the valley is much the same." This story tells everyone about society today. We have a world full of optimists and pessimists. Our world is full of people who think so negatively. These are the unhappy travelers. They go through life letting every single door close behind them, but not letting a single door open. We don't know if the other traveler actually made it to the village. He could have let his negativity hold him back from pursuing a future. A pessimist doesn't care if his road ends, because to him, giving up is winning. We have to be the optimistic traveler and make the most of everything. Our high spirits need to be a light that we use to get to the end of the tunnel. What is this tunnel? It's our life. We can't let rejection be the exit of the tunnel. It's only the entrance. That is what the optimistic traveler encompasses. He is the warrior that saw the new experiences as the great ones. That things he'd never done before were the best things that had ever happened to him. I am that optimistic traveler. I believe the road never ends, and this will help me in the future. I want to accomplish so much, and I can only achieve it with optimistic spirits. I want to pursue a career in the dramatic arts, which it's a rough road. Optimism will help me press on to greater achievements because in my career field, I will be faced with many disappointments. For example, if I were to not get the part in a new play or musical, I have to pick myself up, and I have to tell myself, "Hey man, get up. You know you're better than what a director thinks. You are an amazing star, and you will go far." The hand that picks me back up, it has to be my own. I have to believe that no matter how an audition turns out, my level of optimism will allow me to refuse that it ends there. Barbra Streisand, for example, when she was first becoming a star, she was told she wouldn't go very far unless she got a nose job. Her level of optimism allowed her to fight through the criticism and just be herself, nose and all. Now, she is a world-renowned star. Her level of optimism allowed her to believe that her career, her road, would not end and that she could become a star. We as human beings have to believe that with one closed door, we get another one opened. We all have the ability to do amazing things. We just have to skip past the disappointments and rise up with optimism. When we do, we are empowered to pursue our future, personal goals to high achievements. Writer-poet C. Joy Bell C. wrote, "I think that we are like stars. Something happens to burst us open, but when we burst open and think we are dying, we're actually turning into a supernova." Thank you.